Hey everyone, my name is Jasmine Faulkner from Polaris Expeditionary Learning School in Fort Collins. I want to take a few minutes to show you around my modern band classroom. For me, when I first started teaching modern band in 2012, I had never seen a modern band classroom. I had no idea how to organize it, how to set up my room. And I actually started with just a bunch of acoustic guitars, a pretty bad drum set and a sound system, and through lots of fundraising, grant opportunities, and a nice school budget. I get about $1,000 to $2,000 a year for my school budget. And you'll see how I slowly started collecting things. I also requested donations from the community to add to the collection of instruments. So I'm just going to take you around, show you how I structured my room, and you can watch my previous video that shows my old classroom when I was in a smaller room, how I set that up. There's a lot of similarities between the two, but now I have a really big room, kind of like the dream modern band classroom, and so sometimes it helps us to see the big dream in order to just get started. So I hope this helps you. So here is the room. So like I said, it's a really big classroom. And the first part I want to point out is I put my stage, I always do this in my rooms, I put my stage over here and then my projector there. And then the rest of the classroom is set up for the students to be able to sit and play and interact with the board there, but then they can also see it when they're on the stage. This is set up to be to mimic a live show, and so my students are playing music over here, and then I have a mixer there, and the student that's over there is running the stage mix, so what the musicians are hearing on while they're playing, so the monitors that are running towards them. And then I have, this is capable to communicate with an iPad, so I have an iPad, and then a student will sit back here and they will run the house mix, which is what the audience is hearing. And I have house speakers kind of hidden here and here. Ideally they're at head height, like pointing at your face or a little above your face, but for my classroom purposes I have it kind of hidden under my tables. So the student will sit here and run the sound and actually practice what it should sound like at a live show. We only do that when we get songs polished, so that comes later. But I just love that little detail. I will do a video that goes into detail about my stage, but let's just look up close. So I've got this mixer, and then I have stage speakers, and there's one back there. And we are mixing a sound for the musicians to be able to hear easily. This also has presets on it, so I will get the stage set up, even bring in a professional sound engineer to help me set it, teach me what to do, and then I save that preset on the mixer. So each time I just load that preset. Let's see, I have a dance party light. I think that's really fun, especially with little kids. I keep my basses hung up over here, my bass guitars, and then I've got a collection of acoustic guitars as well as electrics. And so I have acoustic electric ukuleles, acoustic electric guitars over here. And then these are wonderful. We have hanging cables, instrument cables back over here. I was able to rig up and get it approved by the fire department to hang up an old stage curtain that's fire retardant. And so then I have this kind of back area for storage, so more acoustic guitars and random things that I've collected, like auto harps and stuff like that. I use this for my percussion stuff. I would like to upgrade some of those eventually because some of them are 50, 60 years old. I use LED bars. That was, again, like slowly accumulating, getting grants. And so eventually I'd like to have my students learning how to do a light show as well. So I use the back wall for posters, for quick reference. This is one of my favorite posters here. You've got the bass poster, and if you notice, my bass players will play here, and they are facing that poster. So as a beginning basis, it's really nice to have that set up. In the front of my classroom, my main computer, I have a cable that runs all the way around and connects to the mixer. It also has my own speakers that run here, and then I ran a third speaker there. So I can switch from classroom sound to a stage sound. I can run the music through it. And then I have multi-screen, so I'll put the video or play along or chart up there. You'll see that's my plan of the week. It's a typical strategy, typical way I would set up a week. And then, and I can go into the detail another time. And then I have a song ready to play at the beginning of class that a student picked. And then this is what I use for my mini bands, if you guys can kind of see it. I'll get my mini bands organized so that we have our musicians listed, what room they're practicing in or space they're practicing in, and then what they're always responsible for cleaning. Let's see. I do color coding with my instruments. So my instruments actually have little painted dots on them. And this is my method I use. Some people use Boomwhacker colors. And this is an organization area I teach students how to vocalize. And so I have a bunch of little toys and tricks for that. My tuners, my picks, and then what strings, the tuning strings are. And then I have a little folder that I keep song charts in. So it's a quick grab for that. One of the reasons I'm in this room is because the school voted to put in a recording studio. So using mill levy funds, it costs about $90,000. They had to build onto this wall and then put a recording studio into there. So let's go check it out. So I have a Behringer Air mixer here. The iPad is running the mix. We've got a computer. I use Pro Tools and Soundtrap in my room. This room here, I wish it was a little bigger, but this room is just for the engineers, and so we'll have quite a few students in here just observing the engineer doing the activity. Then let's go over here. This is the actual recording studio. We use it as a practice room as well. So we've got bass guitar. I always put red tape mark it so they know those are bass amps. It's a lot easier for learners. We've got our drum set, keyboard, guitar, singer, and this here is a mixer so the students can actually practice as a band. And then the top one is my headphone amp that runs back into the mix. I also have the snake. So all the inputs are going into there, running back into the engineer space so that they can mix the sound and record. I do have another practice space over here. And so we got a bass, guitar, electric drums hooked up to a bass amp. We can do a microphone. And let's see what else. I have a repair station over here. This is an organization, so it's like quick grab references, and then each of the mini bands, they have a folder they can keep their resources in. And then here's some extra. I found having keyboards on a rolling cart is really helpful, so I highly recommend doing that. I hope this helps you a little bit. I guess one more note is I do have some mini electric drum sets. I think they're $150, and my high school students as well as my elementary students use these, and they've been really great. And the price of doing $150, you can actually replace it, right? Where things that are $700 or more can be really difficult to find the funds, but $150 drum set is a little bit more doable. Back over here, I have battery powered mini amps, and I can go into detail about that another time, but those are really nice. The kid can just grab it and go anywhere in the room and practice with their electric guitar, electric bass. That wraps up the room tour. I hope that helps some of you get your rooms organized, start figuring out how to set up your rooms. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll try to make some more videos soon, and until then, rock on.
But I respect the school lunch staff and how they're feeding every class. And I disdain the ones who leave their lunch trays in the grass. But when it comes to eating lunch, I think it costs just way too much. Between the rotten milk and green beef, I just can't munch.